Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today we're going to be reviewing Tottenham's 2-1 win away in the Premier League at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. But before we get into this one, if you are new to the channel, leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because it lets you know when I've gone live. Now, let's get into the review. We're top of the league. We're top of the league. Enough of that actually, because as well as good as that sounds, I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to too much into it, but another win for Spurs. That's 4 wins on the bounce. That's us still undefeated in the Premier League. 5 points clear at the top at the time of recording. And, you know, just going from strength to strength under Ange Postecoglou. As I said at the beginning, a 2-1 win away from home. Not an easy place to go, Selhurst Park in the Premier League. And we really, at the end, ground out a result, which, you know, I think it was more comfortable than the scoreline suggested. I don't think Palace offered much of a threat in front of goal. Apart from at the end, which was an absolutely, glorious strike from Jordan Ayew. And I've actually seen a little stat, a little tidbit, that at this stage, the Invincibles were on 24 points. We're on 26. Not reading too much into it, but, you know, take that little stat and you can run away with it as far as you want. But yeah, so that's where currently Spurs sit. Another very impressive performance from the team. As I said, 2-1. And yeah, I just think, you know, first half was a bit of a struggle, I'm not going to lie. Palace and teams like Palace, I'm thinking Fulham last week, Luton, they're trying to think how to play against this Ange Postecoglou side. And the main way they're thinking is sit back in a low block and counter-attack, which is, you know, traditionally what middle and lower league teams do against the likes of City, Arsenal, Liverpool, you know, the bigger teams who play more expansive attacking football. So I wasn't surprised that was their game plan, but my words, how dirty were Palace? Like, the amount of fouling in the middle of the park especially was, I couldn't get over it. I was moaning a lot about that in my WhatsApp groups in the first half. I just couldn't believe it, really. Just any reason to break up the play. You know, some of their players deserved yellow cards early. I'm thinking Jordan Ayew himself. But yeah, just quite surprised about it, really. And then, you know, both goals, you know, Maddison just, again, unlocking doors, weaving his way in and just, you know, inviting the opportunity for it to be an own goal, I believe. So, you know, that was really good work there. And then the second goal, my word, just Brennan Johnson as well. Fantastic from the boy, just heading it down and the little 1-2s and, you know, getting an assist for Son, who is just a poacher. He's just a poacher in the area now, which is really interesting to see how his game has developed under Ange Postecoglou. And I was looking at some stats ahead of recording this video, and this was actually our lowest shots and shots on target in a game this season, but our highest possession. So you can really see where I'm talking about that low block, how Palace were looking to stifle us really in this game and, you know, really not offer us a chance of playing the way we really want to, you know, being able to unlock doors with ease. Because, you know, Palace are a resilient team. We know how hard it is to go to their ground, and they have got a good defence. Like Mark Gehi is solid at the back, you know. Sam Johnson's a good goalkeeper as well. So they are hard to break down. It's just at the other end of the pitch where they're not really creative, and they didn't have Eze, they didn't have Elise. So that's quite the interesting factor. And also, Ange mentioned this in his post-match interview, our pressing is, you know, has just improved. You know, we've become a much fitter team with pressing. And a lot of our goals recently have come from pressing. You know, I think the first goal last night comes from a loose ball and we pick up from that. Both Fulham goals come from pressing. So it's just interesting how our pressing game has improved and we're reaping the benefits of it. And I just think, I remember how good we were as a pressing team under Pochettino, and then we became a depressing team under Antonio Conte, and we just weren't running. And I mean, I showed that graphic, didn't I, in the last video of, you know, area Jules won, and you could tell that Ange and Conte are like chalk and cheese when it comes to pressing. But yeah, it's just really good to see. Really good football. It was just a really entertaining game. I was a bit nervous towards the end when the goal went in, but at 2-0 I was very comfortable. I mean, there were stages where Vicario, Micky, Ven and Romero were just passing it around between the three of them like it was their own little ball game away from home. So yeah, some very good performances that I'll be going into towards the end of the video. And then obviously I've got to mention Ange Postecoglou. His substitutions, I think, were key in the game. Taking Ben Davies off. Ben Davies was struggling in that first half. Balls going over his head, not being able to track his runners. And then Emerson Royale comes on and plays left back, inverted left back or whatever you want to call it. Incredible, really. I thought he was very, very good. I think Hove came on at the right time for Basuma. Obviously, Basuma now free to play against Chelsea. He will not be banned with accumulative yellow cards. I think Brennan Johnson came on at the right time as well. I think, Maddison and Son, they came off. Maddison came off a bit later, so it was good to see them play a bit more football because we've been used to them playing, getting to around the 70-minute mark, 75 minutes, and then they come off because of injury worries and stuff like that. But we've got a 10-day rest now, so luckily shouldn't be as worried about that. But now more about Ange in his post-match interview. Some of the stuff he was saying, I've mentioned, he was talking about the pressing, the style of play, changing Tottenham. It's just the way he has with words is just fantastic. He is, he's just, I mean, I've said a lot about him in my last video, so if you want to go check that out, the link will be above my head. But I just have so much praise for the man. And he even said, the key quote that I pick out about this and where the title is, Kelly Cates, Gary Neville and James Carragher on Sky were saying about title talk. Are Spurs in the title race? That's what people are going to start saying now. And he was like, let them dream. Let the fans dream about titles. That's what being a football fan is all about. And what an answer that is, because a normal manager would be like, yeah, no. But I just love he just has a human side that I've not seen in a manager in a long time who, even rival fans are going, this guy's onto something. He's quite good, actually. So that's really impressive, and I just love him to bits. And is my goat. Now on to a few individual performances I want to hone in on, and I have to mention the two centre backs. What a duo these two are! Quite a shame they didn't get the clean sheet, or Vicario didn't get the clean sheet, because mention Vicario first. Key saves in that first half. Just what a goalkeeper he has become. I think the goal as well, Jordan Ayew's goal, it's a wonder strike, really. I think Pedro Porro, a little bit of fault for that, but it's just a good strike, You'd hope he maybe got a glove near it, but it is what it is. You've got to let in a few goals once in a while. But I think he deserved a clean sheet. And then we look at, as I said, Micky, Ven and Romero. Unbelievable duo. Got a really good stat here, actually, that I'm going to read off the screen. 236 passes they had between them. Palace had 147 passes. I mean, in fact, that sums up Palace, really, doesn't it? More than the two centre-backs. But Ven, some of his last-ditch tackling, his pace, he's just, imagine him and Van Dijk for the Netherlands. It's going to be actually really scary. They could do some damage in the Euros and future World Cups. So, yeah, really, really good to see them two performing at their best. Obviously, I mentioned Ben Davies didn't have the best game. I'm not sure if he suits the Ange system as a left-back. Which is a real shame because I love Ben Davies. Emerson Royale, really, really good. Thought he had a good game when he came on. Pedro Porro was solid. Maybe at fault for the goal. Not too sure, really. I think it was just a lapse of concentration. Basuma, good. Basuma showing, how pivotal he was, and it's good to have him back in the team. Same with Sarr. I thought Sarr had a really good game. Solid as always. Really, for his age, I think he's 20 years old, is just really ripping up the league in that centre-mid spot. Maddison, I'm not even going to talk about Maddison. We all know about Maddison. He is a marvel. And then, Kulusevski was good. Really just down that right-hand side. He's dribbling. He's just so impressive. He did like a little heel-to-heel chop in the game, and it really blew my socks off. Richarlison, thought he was all right again. I still think that left-wing spot is his. I think he is quite solid, but Brennan Johnson is showing he might come for that spot as well, which is, some good healthy competition. And Son, I don't think he got a lot of service, didn't have too many shots, but pivotal with the goal, great movement, and he's a poacher. That's what you want from a poacher. Poachers don't necessarily, popping off shots all the time. They're just there at the right moment, at one moment in the game. And he showed that. So now for the crux of the video and the title itself. Can Spurs win the Premier League title, or at least compete in the title race? Now, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're only 10 games into the Premier League season, and personally, I'm not believing the media hype. I don't think Spurs... I think they could be in a title race. I don't think they can win it, though. I think we're a long way off. You know, we've got to think of AFCON, we're losing 2 key players. The Asia Cup, we're losing Son. We haven't got the depth. We've got, you know, we're 1 or 2 injuries away from, you know, playing B team players who are not good enough. I'm thinking, you know, Ben Davies last night, not as good as Destiny Udogie. So yeah, I just think, I don't really believe it. I'm not really sold on the whole title talk. You know, it is quite entertaining, you know, being top of the league. But as I say, you know, teams are going to come back. Liverpool, Arsenal, City, they're going to be in and amongst it as well. So I'm not going to buy into this title talk just yet. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened. I'm thinking Leicester. So, but yeah, tough periods to come, but who knows? And there we have it. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Spurs are in a title race? Could they win the Premier League title? Or are you just going to enjoy Ange Ball in all its glory for the rest of the season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as I said at the top of the video, if you are new to the channel, leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs, and hit that notification bell because it lets you know when I've gone live. And I'll see you guys very soon, and a ciao.